Hey everybody, welcome to another video, and in this one we're going to be addressing another somewhat silly comment that I see way too often for my own sanity, which is comments saying stuff like, who are you to criticise Ubisoft, leave the upgrading their games to them, leave the work to them sort of comments, where they're like, basically, you have no right to give your opinion sort of thing, which is a stupid comment. Basically, people who think the consumer has no right to give their opinions on the product if it's a negative one, or if it has negative points, and it's literally as much as, if you don't like certain things, don't play. That's extreme. I never said I didn't like the entire thing. I believe the lack of willingness to give constructive criticism, not criticism for the sake of giving criticism, but constructive criticism, has resulted in somewhat of the dip in quality that Ubisoft's games have arguably seen in recent years. Because we, as the consumer, need to be honest with our opinions. We need to tell Ubisoft what we want, what we don't want, what we like, what we perhaps didn't like. All these little things so they can get a better idea of what their fans want. And if their fans are all like, oh, AC is perfect, yada 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 yada, this, that, they really aren't going to get a good idea about what's going on, and if they don't get this criticism, they'll just wind up making the same mistake over and over and over again. And that's not what we as the fans want. Every game does have its flaws, and if we point those out, Ubisoft might do something about them. But if we don't and just pretend that everything's perfect, then Ubisoft don't know what the fans like, what the fans don't like, what works and what doesn't. They don't know. You see, game developers want to appeal to what the consumer wants, so that means that what the fans want, they want the fans' opinions. So when people say stuff like, you have no right to give this opinion, you're not a game developer, blah 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 blah, don't like Trump? Well, you're not a politician, what can you say about it? Your opinion's not valid. Apply this, you can't express your opinions if you are not what you were talking about sort of thing, is a bit unfair once you put it into a different situation like that, because I'm sure everybody likes to give their opinion on things because they can, because believe it or not, as the consumer, you are paying for this product, so you are going to want it to be up to scratch, aren't you? You aren't going to want it to be substandard, or at least substandard in your opinion. And it is important that Ubisoft gets the feedback that they want. They need to know what particular fans want, what they don't want, what they like, what they didn't like. Like, every fan's going to have a different opinion. I know that in some of my opinions they're quite unpopular, but I'm still going to voice these opinions because they're my opinions and they're not going to change. And I like Assassin's Creed overall. I just want to express my opinions on the things that I don't like, so people know what that is, and the things that I like just as well, because I like to know what that is as well, so that people know what I don't like. What I'm trying to do here is provide constructive criticism so that Ubisoft can hopefully improve the quality of their games, as opposed to just falling into a pit. Now, I understand that my opinions aren't the most popular going in a lot of things, but my opinions will still stand, and I'm still going to voice those opinions because, believe it or not, I have a right to. I paid for the game. It's like going into a restaurant and not getting what you ordered. I suppose you would complain about that, wouldn't you? Because come the end of the day, you want your money's worth. And if you bought something and it wasn't necessarily up to the £50 or whatever currency that you use, something like $100, whatever, I don't know what, I just think it's like, I don't fucking care. You're going to want that game to be worth every single penny that you spent on it. And the best way for game developers to know what fans want with their money is through constructive criticism, believe it or not. So that sort of puts to bed all the silly comments that I get saying stuff like, you're in no position to make opinions like this, you're in no position to criticise Ubisoft, oh my god, Ubisoft is perfect, I suck Ubisoft's dick all day. So if you see me making these critical comments all the time, I'm not doing it to hate on Ubisoft, I'm doing it because I see the potential is still there. I see Ubisoft is a great company underneath all of the dirt that's going on, and I just feel as if they need to sort of refine their games a little bit more. The thing is with Ubisoft is they're making so many games at once, and the manpower, I get it, they're a big company, but the manpower isn't enough for that, and then they've got ridiculous deadlines, and they're being overworked, and there's nothing the developers can do about that. But hopefully somebody up there gets the right notion and thinks, well, okay, we need to sort of stop making so many games and focus on a handful that we can make amazing, which is something that I always feel they can do. And I mean, people are just happy to gobble up that Ubisoft stuff all the time, these mixed games, these games that get mixed reviews, because believe it or not, Ubisoft is one of those companies that these days they just make games that get mixed reviews, and it was kind of saddening, I guess, because Ubisoft is a great company and they should be making games that are getting these great reviews, when in reality they're making games that people are not sure about. But like I said, I think if they listen to what the fans want, the criticisms, oh, that was great, that's good. If something's great, that's great, express it. If something's not great, express that as well. They want that criticism, and if they get it, they're going to start to make a higher quality of game. And I would love nothing more than to play a Ubisoft game and not be able to find something to criticise, because believe it or not, that's actually my definition of heaven. Sort of, nah. When Ubisoft makes a great game, it's a great game. And that's what I want to see again, are great Ubisoft titles instead of these constant mediocre ones. And if we don't criticise what they're doing wrong and continue to praise what they're doing right, which I agree with, we should continue to praise what they're doing right, but we should also acknowledge what they're doing wrong. And once we get to do that, that's when we'll start to see Ubisoft go back to its great old days. So forgive me if my critique can be harsh at times, but sometimes that's what's necessary. But thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, I'll see you all soon. So yes.